Okay, so we're going to go into a bit of a, not a hole. We're not going into a hole. We're just going into a little deeper part of
Okay.
the Daily Weekly now.
Uh-huh.
So, long-time followers will know that a couple of months ago, Jake announced his leaving from the Daily Weekly. I know you've been, you guys have split up amicably and that sort of thing, but how did it make you feel when Jake did turn around and say, I'm leaving?
Um,
This is one of the ones where I was like, if you don't want to answer it, don't.
no, I'll talk about this. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything bad to say. Like, me and you would know, like Jake took a back seat in January and until he left in March. And, that's for a whole bunch of reasons that it's not for me to go into, but there's no bad blood between me and him. We always kept him in the loop of what was going on, and occasionally I still do now. Oh, this is happening. I think at the beginning of this year, once you joined the team, I thought, right, we can really up our game now. We can spread things out, we can get more done. Because from pretty much September to December, Jake and I did less anyway, because we were both busy with like work and other things. So the amount of content started to drop then. But I thought, right, in January, we can get a bunch more done going through this year. And we have. We've still got through it, but at first, I was planning a lot of things with Jake involved, have him in there. So I had to rework some things, but I miss him. It's no longer that original two best friends kind of. Like, don't get me wrong, Rachel, we're friends, but
I'm never going to be your Jake, am I?
No, you can never replace him. So yeah, it does feel different, and sometimes I do wish that if Jake could come back. It's like when we recorded our podcast birthday special, it was just me and him, and it was like old times. So that was really nice. And I hope he's happy to come back and guest every now and then, which is great. So hopefully I can get him back again doing something soon. But yeah, it didn't. After he took kind of that, like, to me, I said it was like he went on leave. Like how, I don't know if you ever had this in school, like a teacher would go off for a bit, for a few months, and then you find out they're never coming back. Did you ever have that? So yeah, anyway, in my school, we had it happened quite a few times where teachers would just like go on leave, and then eventually you hear that they left. So internally, that's how I said it. Like, yeah, he's on leave right now, and then he decided not to come back. There were moments where I thought, yeah, he's just not going to come back. But then there were also times I thought, okay, yep, there's certain projects coming up. Jake is on board to do it. We can get back into it. And then it didn't happen. And when he made that video, like, I remember messaging our little internal Daily Weekly team group chat. I was like, oh, he's messaged me. He's just released a video, and I was out at the time, and we had already scheduled a podcast to go out on the same day, which he didn't know about. So we had two things drop on the same day. One was just as normal, and then the other was this leaving video, which he had spoke about doing like a while ago, like, why I left, and then I didn't think he'd actually do it. And then like that's when his official departure kind of came in, like halfway through March. And yeah, so I was like, okay, this is like, it's more official now. He's not just maybe. It's more of a no. But obviously, since I've gotten talking to him, it is leaning slightly back into the maybe side of things. But if he's always welcome, the door is always open. And maybe once these lockdown restrictions end, we can be a bit more. We can actually do things in person and have different people, and maybe, because like I get it, this isn't for everyone. Like some people would rather see people do things in person as opposed to like a video chat you're watching, which I get that. But we're working with what we got, and he's welcome to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people saw it, like our followers saw it as a bit of a shock. When to us it was like, oh, like, okay.
Yeah.
He's announced it now.
Yeah.
So even though he never told us that he was formally leaving and going to upload that video, when he did upload that video, it wasn't that much of a shock. And it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Closing that chapter.
And
but as Brad says, like, he can come back when it's his thing.
yeah, and that's another thing. It's like up until then, it was always mine and Jake's joint thing, whereas now it's just mine. But since then, we've got new people join the team. You joined. We've got Ridley. We've got Bethany. Everyone is doing things behind the scenes, working on things. And to me, it's always a team thing. That's why I wanted to get more people. Yeah, it's my thing. Yeah, I might be in most of the content. That's just how it is at the moment. It might not always be that way, but it is a team thing. I guess, like, we had a little team meeting not too long ago where we came up with roles for each other, and one of them that came around to me was the CEO, and I was like, I didn't feel too comfortable with that. Whereas before, that is on previous projects, even things that me and Jake have done before, is I would class myself as the big boss, the CEO, the manager, whatever. That's that business side of me. But when it comes to this, I felt a bit uncomfortable. I don't mind being the face of it, because essentially I am, and it's mine now. But I just felt like it's not just me. We all played the parts here.
I guess that again leans into the next question quite nicely. Why did you decide to recruit more people, more members?
At the end of last year, I was writing some goals for the Daily Weekly to achieve by the end of this year, and one of them was to recruit more people to the team, because one thing, especially during those last few months at the end of last year, is that me and Jake struggled to sync our schedules up where we were able to do stuff. From April to August, we pretty much had a podcast going out every week, and then it stopped because of different things coming up, and we went down to one a month, which it still is at the moment. I'd like to up that again. When we can, we will. But it was just the idea to spread the workload so we can get more people involved. And I wasn't just going around asking anybody. I asked people who I thought would want to do it and who could benefit me and the Daily Weekly, people who have that experience. So as you know before, we had an Instagram group chat which I made for people I knew who did some sort of creative thing, like podcast or YouTube or blogging, that sort of thing. And at the moment, 95% of that group chat is now working for me, if you want to put it like that. Because 3 out of the 4 people I asked said yes, and the 4th is still a maybe one day, so who knows for that.
Yeah, and again, that goes on to my... No, you're doing this so well, as if you've already read the questions.
I haven't, but thank you.
Why did you decide on me, Ridley and Bethany?
I had my eye on all 3 of you for a while, probably since August.
Really?
Probably, yeah. I was thinking at that point more of a casual basis, let's get these guys in, let's do something. Before, obviously, then it came to, let's get them permanently on the team. But obviously you had your own podcast, and I think I've said before a couple of times is, despite how different they were, I just saw it on my Instagram, you were sharing it, and I was like, oh, I'll check it out, I've got nothing better to do. And then it was 2 friends talking about stuff. I was like, do you know what, Jake? I messaged Jake the same day. I was like, we should finally do the Daily Weekly podcast. I would have asked Beth, but I knew she was busy with uni, so I thought, well, that's not going to work for either of us. Otherwise, well, and then if Beth didn't go to uni or whatever, if you continued that, then you wouldn't be with us, because you'd still be doing that. So, and then for Ridley, I've known him for a few years. He's got a deeper interest in film that me and Jake ever have. He's much more technical about it, and he was doing a lot of film reviews on his Instagram accounts. And he's studying
at uni.
Yeah, and he hopes to be a director one day, so good luck to him. But I thought, again, he was someone I wanted to have on for a while, and it just never happened. So to have him on board now it's great,
It is
it's
dream
nice.
Come true having Ridley.
It is
perfect in the movie industry.
Oh, it's just yeah.
And then Bethany.
She's done some YouTube bits again. I was kind of scouting her out. I've seen some of her YouTube videos. Again, I'm not the audience for that, but she was doing a lot of kind of vlogging and just girly, female-oriented topics, which don't apply to me, obviously. But she had that kind of, she was comfortable on the camera. She's done a lot of social media work. She's done blogging, so she kind of knows her stuff. And that was an area that we were lacking. So although it wasn't something she necessarily worked with before, like broadly, I thought she could be of some benefit. And if she wanted to, you know, she was like, yeah, sure, I can help out. So
yeah, and she's really good with the social media side of things and the promotion side of things, because we're all a bit naff at that. We're useless in that area.
We are, yeah. Because I remember I dumped the social media on you. I was like, Rachel, you can do it. Just do whatever.
First assignment, just rebrand the social media. Of course.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely post more than we did. That's before. So we're getting better. I can't do everything. I'm learning, people.
Yeah, I love our little team now. Like, obviously, it would have been amazing to have Jake as well, but I love our team. Do you think you will recruit more in the future?
Yes, I wouldn't rule it out. It's not actively on my mind, because then I don't want to get to the point where I have a bunch of people that I don't know what to do with. Whereas at the moment, I think it's okay, you know.
The way you worded that was impeccable.
Well, I'm not lying about it. It's just like, I don't want to invite people to this thing and then they're like, oh, I haven't got anything to do. Because I wouldn't want to join something and then not have anything to do. It's like, well, why did you ask me? And then, like, if you want to get professional about it, it looks bad on your part. It's like, well, you don't know how to use your time or your people. It's like, but yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. I'm happy with the team we've got for now.
Hopefully none of us drop out. So, leaving the specialised daily weekly questions for just a moment, how do you continue to learn about your niche? How do you keep the daily weekly relevant?
In terms of content, you know, like, you've seen it, I have a list of ideas which I add to pretty much every day, and it's nearly got 400 ideas. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get through all of them, and some of them are probably like duplicates and all that sort of thing, but it's just whenever I have an idea, I'll write it down just in case. And if I see anything that other YouTubers are doing, or if there's a trend going on, I'll try and see if I can come up with something, or if there's a certain event, I'll try and do something related to that. I think at the moment I'm mainly focusing on like the technical behind the scenes stuff, how I can improve what I do. So I watch a lot of YouTube education channels and like tech channels just to learn more about what I do, so I can get better at it, so I can get faster, so I can do more, you know.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard in this industry. I think our main challenge has definitely been what makes us different from the rest. Not just in the podcasting world, not just in the YouTube world, but in the movie and TV world. Everyone can, give their 2 cents worth, but what makes ours worth watching or listening to? And I suppose that is why we got 4 people in our team now, because we've all got different viewpoints and So we are coming to the end of our interview, Bradley. I'm sure you'll be pleased to know.
Really?
So I know. I feel like we've been recording for ages, but also no time at all. So looking to the future, what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours? I know that might not be the future, but like, it's influencing future generations.
I'm going to look to the camera now and be really dramatic about this. Just start filming. If you want to do something to do with YouTube, or if you want to make a podcast or write a blog, just do it. Because me and Jake first thought about it in 2018. That was 3 years ago. Where could we be now if we started 3 years ago, you know? And occasionally I do think, that what if? Wasted 2 years doing nothing. Well, forget that. Start today. Because if you don't start today, someone else is going to start today. And you're going to think, damn, how are they better than me? You know, don't always focus on what other people are doing. Like, look for them for inspiration, or see what your competitors are doing. But if you don't start, then you're never going to get anywhere. So you just got to do it. Phones are great these days. Just hold your phone up, like I still do. I don't mind that. And just make a video. Choose something you're passionate about, something you can talk about. Just do it, you know. Don't fall in the trap that I did and buy the expensive gear. Not when you don't need it. You know, if you got the money and you want to do it, go for it. But my advice is don't do that just yet. And just start with what you got and just do it, you know.
Absolutely. Just do it.
Just do it.
Is that Adidas or Nike?
I don't know.
Just do it.
I think it's Nike,
I
isn't it?
think it's Nike, the Nike tick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, it just reminded me.
Not a sponsor.
Where would you like the Daily Weekly to be in 1 year's time? I was going to say 5 years' time, but I don't know if we can answer that. But I feel like 1 year's time we can talk about quite reasonably.
1 year's time. Hopefully I'm still doing it.
Can't
Right
leave
now, I
us
can't think.
now.
I mean, say if you or the other team members like leave for whatever reasons, I'd like to think I would still do it. I admire the people who just do a YouTube channel by themselves. Like, they can do that, you know, they can do everything. I try, but I can't do everything. It helps with other people, and I feel better doing things with other people, but if it's just me, then I'm determined to see this through to the very end, whatever that may be. But for a year's time, yeah, it would be nice if, I don't know, maybe if there were a couple more people on the team, I don't know, if we don't have to worry about certain things and that we're free to go wherever we want and have people, that's the dream. It would be nice, say, if we reached 1,000 subscribers by this time next year, or we started monetizing, that's great, you know. I think it's possible. I wouldn't say it's on the horizon right now, but it would be possible, I think, in a year maybe, especially with how things are going. I just want to be happy doing what I'm doing in a year's time, you know?
So humble.
Oh,
So humble.
I know. I really enjoy doing this, so yeah, I hope to keep doing it.
And my final question to you, Bradley, what does being a content creator mean to you?
That's a good question. I'm in it for myself, I feel. Like I've mentioned, is that I'm doing this because it's something I enjoy. If people watch it and they like it, that's just a bonus to me. In general, I try to be a people pleaser, which I know is a bad thing because you can't please everyone. And I don't think that's really had an impact on this channel so far. Again, I've done things that I want to do, so I hope it stays that way. You know, I don't want to just wake up in the morning, just film this because I have to, and because they want that. Like if they want it and I want it, I'll do it. You know.
Okay, so that is all the questions I have for you, Bradley.
Wow, do you know what? That was really good. I enjoyed that. I feel.
Did you? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it. I was worried that you just, I don't know, weren't going to talk, but you got it out.
I hope I gave you some good answers there. So thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hopefully have some more interviews lined up. Maybe I'll turn the tables on Rachel and interview her.
That would be about 3 hours long.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and share it with your friends.
Yeah. And if you want to get involved in any interviews, hit us up on anything and we will more than likely accept. Because if I'm just interviewing the CEO, we'll take anyone. Bye!
Bye.